Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Good morning. Welcome to Shamanic Restorative. My name is Sarah, and I am teaching this class for Lisa, who normally teaches a Reiki restorative at this time, on this day. It will still be an energetic restorative class, but we're going to call in the 4 directions and source a little bit more from the shamanic side than the Reiki side. So, welcome. The way that class is going to go today is we're going to open sacred space, do a little bit of shamanic breath work, then we're going to get into our affirmation for the day and move through a few restorative therapeutic postures to kind of open up the body and help the body to receive all the goodness from this practice. And then we'll do a guided meditation journey at the end. So it should be just about a 40-minute class, so a really good way to start our days. Super happy to be here with you guys. If you haven't already, please set up your mat and create a nice little nook for yourself in your space, either outside on your patio or maybe in your living room, your workspace, wherever you are. And the only thing that you'll really need today for class is some kind of a pillow or a bolster. So if you have one handy, that would be really great, just for some added cushion and support while we're in our restorative postures. So let's get started, shall we? You guys can start just kind of in an easy seat, so cross one foot in front of the other. Feel your sits bones rooted to the earth. Kind of lean back a little bit. Maybe bring the shoulders up to the ears and then roll them back and down. Open up through the heart. Place the hands on the knees. Palms face down to ground. Tuck the chin in slightly towards the chest. And just begin to be aware and conscious of the quality of your breath. What is the mind doing right now? Is it willing to slow down a bit? Tap in and kind of up our vibe for the day. So beginning by opening sacred space, just begin to elongate the breath. Deep, long inhales through the nose. Slow exhale. Maybe out of the mouth a few times, just to kind of get that energy out of the body, maybe that you've been holding on to from yesterday or from the night's sleep that you had, or maybe any tension or worry about what's going to be happening later today. Just let that all go. And then when you're ready, seal your lips and take long inhales through the nose and long exhales through the nose. We'll get a little bit more into breath work, but let's go ahead and open sacred space. Place your hands on the earth if you choose. Palms face down. Pachamama, Mother Earth. Really imagine the energy from your fingers and your palms extending down into the earth, whatever surface you are on right now. We come here for the gathering of all of your children, Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama. The stones, the plants, the 2-legged, the 4-legged, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, and the winged ones. Please remind us that these are all of our relations. Aho. To the winds of the south, Sachamama, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed the past the way you shed your skin, to walk softly on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. To the winds of the west, mother, sister, jaguar, stalking through the jungle, please protect our medicine space. Teach us the way of peace and to live impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. To the winds of the north, hummingbird, grandmothers and grandfathers, ancient ones, come and warm your hands by our Palo Santo, our sage, our fires. We whisper to you in the wind. We honor those who have come before us and those who will come after us, our children's children. Aho. To the winds of the east, great eagle condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Keep us under your wing, but teach us to fly wingtip to wingtip with great spirit. Show us the mountains, the rivers, the lakes, the apus that we only dare to dream of. Aho. Placing your palms faced up on your knee, or for a little bit more energetic activation, bringing your hands above the head in a seated mountain. Pinky fingers in towards one another. Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names yet remain unnameable. To all of the starry nations, Grandmother Moon, Father Sun, thank you for bringing us here and allowing us to sing the song of life. Aho. Placing both hands over your own heart, feeling your heartbeat for a moment, and then bringing your hands to prayer position, fingertip to fingertip. Press those thumbs right up against your sternum. Slightly tuck the chin into the chest to the seventh direction, which resides and lies within each and every one of our own hearts. May all of these energies and archetypes and guides work through us, make manifest through us for the highest good of all, and all in love and inclusivity, creating the new earth. Aho. All right. Quickly read our affirmation for the day. If you would like to, go ahead and shake out the legs a little bit. Bring them in front of you. Wiggle the toes. Maybe make some fists and lightly just kind of massage the thighs, the quadriceps, back into an easy seat. August 19th, this is Shakti Gawain, Awakening. August 19th, balance your male and female energies. Notice the difference in how your body feels when your female energy is running through you and when your male energy is running through you. Be aware of how differently you relate to your environment from each perspective. Each is important, each is powerful. Play with these different energies in your life. Let them come through you when you need them. Experiment with bringing both of them in at the same time to see if you can experience a balance of the two. I'm finding the balance of my male and female energies in my life. So that's our affirmation for our practice, is I'm finding the balance of my male and female energies in my life. So throughout the practice, we can kind of think, we can adopt a belief from traditional Chinese medicine, and we can think of the left side of our body as the maternal female side of the body, and the right side of the body as our paternal male side of the body. And that will kind of help us to think of how we can balance the female and male energies that reside within all of us, physically in our body. So really intentionally bringing in those energies. All right. Sorry about that. So we are going to go ahead and start our shamanic 4-part breath now. Actually, we're going to do it from a reclined cobbler's pose. We've been sitting for long enough. So grab your pillow or your bolster and bring your pillow right up against your bum, right up against your back. You can let your legs lie long. We're gonna recline back in a reclined cobbler's position. So you can let your legs lie long, or for a little bit more hip opening, bottoms of the feet to touch, Supta Baddha Konasana, and then slowly allow your upper body to recline back. So your heart and chest are really opening up, blossoming open here. Even your throat energy centers opening up a little bit. You can place your hands at your sides. You can place one hand on the belly, one on the heart. Whatever feels right, natural, and restorative for you here. So just settle in. And in this shamanic 4-part breath that I'll lead you through, the first part of the breath is before the inhale even happens. The inhale is the second part of the breath to a count of 4. Filling up the belly first, and then the heart space, and then the chest, the upper chest. We hold at the top. We expand our auric field by suspending the breath for a count of 4 as well. And then we'll exhale through the nose to a count of 5, as slow and as long as possible. That's the 4th part. Hold out at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 3, 4. Hold your breath at the top. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4. And then long exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay where you are. Continue the breath. Holding at the bottom. Before slowly beginning the inhale, remembering to allow the belly to really balloon out on the inhale. Holding at the top, be expansive, as one of my favorite teachers likes to say. And then slowly exhale. The longer exhale, the better. What happens when we lengthen, keep breathing, but what happens when we lengthen the exhale to be longer than the inhale is that it sends a message to our central nervous system to come out of that fight, flight, freeze, or please mode and to come into kind of a second of awareness, to a higher vibration. One more round here. If your legs are in Supta Baddha Konasana, slowly just bring them long. Stretch your arms above the head. Point the toes. Really flex and stretch here. Exaggerate the stretch. Now with your pillows still underneath your back, go ahead and bring your legs into the chest. Rock back and forth just a little bit. Feeling maybe that pinch in the front of the hip. Totally normal. Giving yourself a little love here. And then slowly, with the knees as close in towards the chest as you can, drop them both to the right for a supported spinal twist. So keeping the back on your pillow, keeping that shoulder as close down to the pillow or the ground as you can, and just allowing the spine to ring out here. Looking to the left as your feet are dropped off to the right. Take a full inhale and a full exhale here. Inhale, bring those legs back to center. Back up into the chest, and then drop them over to the left, looking over to the right. Again, just wringing out the spine and all the organs. Take a nice, refreshing drink of air. Bring those legs back up into the chest. And you can kind of rock and roll here to bring yourself to a seat, or you can just bring yourself to a seat however you like. Feels kind of good with the pillow behind us to rock and roll here. Coming up to seat. We're actually going to turn towards our pillow here. We're going to bring the knees to mat width, toes to touch, and then scoot the pillow all the way in towards the groin so it's as close to the body as you can get it. And then we're going to, just for a few breaths, slowly melt onto that pillow. You can turn your face to one side or the other. Again, just calming the central nervous system. Bringing ourselves up to that higher vibration, out of the scattered energy of do, and into a more relaxing state of being. Release the tension in your shoulders and your neck, and just breathe here. We're balancing the male and female energies in our lives. The feminine energy being one of being, and the male energy being one of doing, both necessary, both needing to be kept in check and balanced with the other. Go ahead and push yourself up, scoot your pillow out. You can bring it in front of the mat, and let's come up onto all fours here. Really open up the spine through some fluid cat-cows. So in cat-cow, we want to make sure that our wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, our knees are directly underneath the hips, and we start in a neutral position. I really like to tuck the toes for a nice bottom of the foot stretch. If that's too much or you don't like to do that, you can just keep them down, but it feels really good. So on an inhale, look up, bring the heart through the shoulders, drop the belly. And then on an exhale, untuck the toes, tuck the chin in towards the chest, Round the spine. And then slowly sit back towards the heels. Again, finding fluidity here. And then undulate forward as you begin to inhale. Retuck the toes. Exhale, look towards the chest. Exaggerate the movement in the spine here. It's like a cup of coffee for our spine. It gets the synovial fluid moving. Really wakes us up. Again, helps the central nervous system to send the messages that need to be sent to all parts of the body, brain. When our spine is flexible. We want to be able to decipher and intuit the messages that we're getting from our own bodies. Couple more rounds of this cat-cow. When you feel complete, tuck the toes, lift the hips, just downward facing dog for one moment, just to open the back of the body. Let the head and neck drop. Walk your dog out, feeling that stretch all along the backs of the calves. Again, just opening up here. Shake the head, yes, no. Make sure you know the difference between the two. Begin to walk your feet towards the hands, and we're just gonna hang in Uttanasana for a moment here. So a nice forward fold. The legs can be as bent as they need to be. Grab opposite elbows, coming into a ragdoll. Letting the head and neck just hang as heavy as possible. Use your breath here. Use your breath to open up through the backside body and balance the female and male energies that are always flowing through. Maybe here in this Uttanasana, we make an intention to allow any energies that are not ours, that may be clinging on to us, to literally melt out of the shoulders, out of the crown of the head, into Pachamama, into Mother Earth. For she has the power to completely transmute all of this energy. Just let it go, whatever's no longer serving you. Sway back and forth, suck the belly in. Play around with straightening one leg and then the other, feeling the stretch coming more into the hamstrings. Notice the hamstrings. Say good morning to them. Find your gratitude for them. They do so much for us throughout our days. So grateful and lucky. Slowly bring the hands back down to the mat, and we are going to come back down to a seat. But before we go all the way there, coming into Malasana, our heels are in towards our bodies and our toes are pointed out. Kind of just sit down here as much as you can. You can adjust your legs a little bit. Just sit and get comfortable in this frog pose. And then as soon as you're comfortable down in the hips and the soles of the feet are rooted to the earth, you can bring your hands to heart center. And you can kind of open up the knees with the elbows. Try to bring the thumbs to the sternum. Sit up a little taller. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. And bring some deep cleansing breaths into the open hips here. Deep breaths. Being called to open up through the heart and wring the spine out a little bit. So if you'd like to take this a little bit further, we're gonna bind around the right leg first. So take the left arm, wrap it around the back, take the right arm and keeping the elbow in front of the knee, wrap it around and try to meet palms or at least grab fingertips. And then look over the left shoulder, open up through the heart space here. Really nice. One more breath. Come back to center and opposite side. Bring the right arm around the back and the left kind of just comes behind to meet. Looking over the right shoulder, opening up also through the neck here. Cleansing and purging all that does not serve, allowing that excess energy to flow out of the bottoms of the feet. Unwind. Really nice. So we're going to kind of pivot here and we're going to bring our hands to the mat. We're going to come into a pigeon. So just quickly coming up into a down dog just to bring that right leg forward through the hands. So we're gonna set up for a pigeon. Don't go there quite yet. But you can keep that back left knee down. So you're coming up into a little bit of a low lunge. Let's come up into our low lunge for a moment here. Opening up through the chest. Shoulders back. Sinking deep into that right hip. And if you want to grab your pillow, you can. Bring it on the inside. So it can rest on the outside of that right hip. So walk the right foot over to the left side of the mat. Bring the right knee down to the right side of the mat. And again, if you want to kind of support yourself with your bolster, feels really good. Another place you can bring your bolster is in front of your chest. So it can be on the outside of the right hip or in front of the chest. Make sure the back leg is long. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, melt. And again, you can bring your head to one side if you'd like. Kind of rolling back and forth, side to side, just feeling the openness that this is creating in the hips. Might be a little bit uncomfortable. It's pretty deep. But just breathe into it. Breathe into it and recognize that now we're opening up on the paternal side of the body, the masculine side of the body. Notice any thoughts or emotions that come up with the opening of this right hip. Keep your breath deep and long. When you want to come out of a deep posture like that's actually when the posture is starting to work on the body. So feel that desire to come up and out, and then stay a little longer. Slowly begin to push yourself up. You can either come to just all fours where your knee is on the ground, and then shake out that right leg, so you're kind of just opening up through that right hip. Coming into downward dog for just a moment in order to bring that left leg through on an inhale in between the hands. Right knee is down. Coming up into a low lunge for just a moment. Feeling the nice energetic release from opening up through the heart. Sink deep down into that left hip. And then walk the left foot over to the right side of the mat. Flex the toes back. Set yourself up here again, behind the left hip or in front of the chest. Making sure that right leg and foot are long and in alignment. On an inhale, lift yourself up onto your fingertips. And then on an exhale, you can slowly begin to melt over your bolster. Or just onto the mat. So here, opening up through the maternal, feminine side of the body, the left side of the body, which happens to coincide with the right side of the brain, right? The more creative and artistic and flowing side of the brain. Notice if you're holding on to any tension in the body, and if you can, let it go on an exhale. Sink yourself in and down just a millimeter deeper. Keep the breath long. Keep it in integrity. Bless me. Few more breaths here. Slowly begin to push yourself up, moving the pillow off to the side. You can keep that right knee down if you'd like and just open up through this left hip. Shake the leg out, bring it up and down. Bringing your legs in front of the body, coming onto a seat. And I'm gonna come this way actually. So coming into a wide-legged seated forward fold here. Bring your legs as wide as they want to go. No need to really push yourself too far here, but it is nice to create that opening. If you want to bring your fingertips pointed out behind you, kind of open up through the chest a little bit. Reverse all these forward bends that we're doing. Maybe drop open the neck and the head as much as it will allow. Take some deep inhales here. And before we fold over into our wide-legged seated forward fold, bring your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Bring the right hand behind you and just look over the right shoulder. Kind of twist a little bit here. Deep breath. Bring yourself back to center. On the other side, right hand is on the outside of the left thigh and your left hand is kickstanding behind the back. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Coming back to center here. Sit up really tall. Feel the sit bones connected to the earth. And then slowly inch your hands forward on your pillow or your bolster or the ground. And just for a few moments, try to keep that back flat at the beginning of coming down. So you're just slowly opening up backs of the hips as well. And then when you're ready to let go, please do so. Allow the spine to round, the head and neck to hang. And come down onto the bolster. Or just rest your hands on the ground in front of you. Any normal pillows from the bed will do, by the way, just so you know. Flex those feet back. Feel this opening from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Make sure you're breathing here. Long, intentional shamanic breaths. Sucking the belly in to make more room for the lower spine. Begin to push yourself back up to a seat slowly. We're going to make our way into Shavasana here. If you'd like to put your pillow back on the mat underneath your back so you're having a little bit more of a heart opener as you recline, you can do that. You can put the pillow underneath your knees to give your lower back a nice little rest. Whatever you'd like. Let the legs splay out though and the feet kind of fall open. Take up space here. Palms faced up at your sides. Chin slightly tucked so the back of the neck is long. Corpse pose. Maintain your steady, deep breaths. Release any tension that you may be holding on to in the feet, lower, upper legs, hip region. Just let it melt. Same thing with any tension you may be holding on to in the chest, or the shoulders, or the arms, or even the fingers. Just intentionally let that go. Release, relax, melt in. Release and relax your jaw. Let go of any tension you may be holding on to in between the brows, or the temples, or the skull. Just kind of release and let your head melt. Close your eyes. Just a couple minutes here. I'm going to read a really, really powerful Louise Hay affirmation for our guided meditation and journey. So in your mind's eye, bring yourself to somewhere where you consider to be your happy place. Often, this happy place is in nature, and you're either alone or with someone you love very much. Maybe this being is a family member or a friend, or maybe it's a celestial guide, one of your ancestors. Feel how good it feels to be where you are. Notice the sensations that arise from just this pure state of bliss and happiness. And now wherever you are with your companion who you've brought along on your little journey, or maybe who's brought you along, sit down right across from that person in this very beautiful natural space. Sit down so you're heart to heart, eye to eye. Open yourself up to completely receive the love and care that you need from this person, and listen to them as they tell you this. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I live in harmony and balance with everyone I know. Deep at the center of my being, there is an infinite well of love. I now allow this love to flow to the surface. It fills my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being, and radiates out from me in all directions and returns to me multiplied. The more love I use and give, the more I have to give. The supply is endless. The use of love makes me feel good. It is an expression of my inner joy. I love myself, therefore I take loving care of my own body. I lovingly feed it nourishing food and beverage. I lovingly groom it and dress it, and my body lovingly responds to me with vibrant, healthy energy. I love myself, therefore I provide for myself a comfortable home, one that fills all my needs and is a pleasure to be in. I fill the rooms with the vibration of love so that all who enter, myself included, will feel this love and be nourished by it. I love myself. Therefore, I work at a job I truly enjoy doing, one that uses my creative talents and abilities, working with and for people I love and who love me, and earning a good income. I love myself. Therefore, I behave and think in a loving way to all people, for I know that which I give out returns to me multiplied. I only attract loving people in my world, for they are a mirror of what I am. I love myself, therefore I forgive and totally release the past and all past experiences, and I am free. I love myself, therefore I live totally in the now, experiencing each moment as good and knowing that my future is bright and joyous and secure. For I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and forevermore. All is well in my world. With an inhale, take that in. And maybe on an exhale, in your mind's eye, giving your loved one or your guide a big, giant hug. Thanking them for coming on this journey with you and for sharing these words and wisdom with you. Stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like or you need. If you'd like to join me back up in a seat, roll over to one side first and just slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. The highest in me truly recognizes and honors the highest in each and every one of you who've come here to practice with me today. Yay, Lisa, it was so nice to have you. Take a deep breath. Namaste. Aho. Happy Wednesday. Closing and honoring the sacred space that we've created here for ourselves. And thank you so much for practicing today. I teach on Saturdays at 10 a.m. It's a shamanic class as well, a little bit less restorative, a little bit more up and moving, but love to have you there. And yeah, my Instagram and my Venmo are both Soul Mama Sarah, so SoulMamaSarah. If you'd like to reach out to me or connect with me in some way or donate for taking the class, I would love it and appreciate it. And I just love this kind of new way that we're all able to communicate through the Instagram ethers. So thank you guys again so much, and have a beautiful day.